Hey guys, it's Dr. Simmons. I thought I was going to be done by now. I'm not. So this, by the way, is, for those of you in the know, is a photograph of Johnny Cash's childhood home. If you don't know who that is, he's a musician. Don't worry about it. So Brian Ulrich likes to photograph places that really have an evidence of human existence, but you can't see any people in it. And he really specifically likes abandoned shopping spaces, and so he'll photograph places like this, which are this one is a store, a box store that's no longer there. But look at the balance. Look at how everything is perfectly level. It couldn't be a better image than it already is. And so again, he also likes to photograph the abundance of stores while they still exist. Balance, look at those leading lines, interrupted by milk. We have the evidence of people having been there, but we can't actually see any people here. Abandoned location, or abandoned mall. Jello salad that no one's ever going to eat. But again, perfectly level. He's really taking his time to make sure that the image that he's creating is the strongest image possible. This is an 11 by 14 inch print. It's owned by the Museum of Contemporary Photography. It is available for sale for about $400. This is a 40 by 50 inch pigment print. There's a couple of editions, I think it's 4, and it's for sale by a gallery in Germany for the low price of $7,000 to $10,000. This isn't one photo. This took a lot of experience to end up taking this photograph. He also has to travel a lot to different places. And again, this isn't the one photo that he took. That's one of the things that you have to remember. Why one photographer is going to cost more over another photographer. Well, if someone's new, they're still getting experience. Their prices might not be as high, whereas if somebody's been doing it for 25, 30 years, they're going to charge more because they're very good at their job. They've been doing it for such a long time. They have so much experience doing it. And so that's one of the reasons that you're going to see a pricing difference, for different works. And then also, depending on the size and how much actually goes into creating something like this. So remember, just in case you didn't know, gallery prices are usually set between the artist and the gallery, but the gallery takes 40 to 60%. I've seen them take more like 75%. So it's not that the artist is getting everything, even when they're doing things like this. And then oftentimes they also can't lower their prices if they sell them privately, if they do have a gallery as representative as well, because if they aren't selling work through the gallery, then the gallery will drop them. So there's a lot. There's a lot there. Oh, there's more. There's always more photographs. These are some that I found online that I thought were just great. This is a good example of different types of color temperature, because we've got a couple of different lights, and then some of them are yellow and some of them are kind of pink. It's just different color temperatures. These are taken very, very purposefully. I hope that you can see the intention behind all of these, and that this inspires you to create your own images with your own intentions. They're level. They're all these things that we've been discussing this entire semester, and I hope it speaks to you on some level. Here's a great example of a mural. Now, if the photographer had just gotten closer and taken a vertical shot of this mural and included nothing but the mural in the photograph, then all they'd be doing is taking a photograph of someone else's artwork, not really their own work. So consider when you're doing things like murals and you're trying to showcase artwork in the community that you need some context around it. And so here it's on part of a building that is falling apart, but then you can also see that it's within a neighborhood as well. So think about if you want to shoot things in the area, include the context. It's part of the story of that artwork. Lines, 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 beautiful lines. Sorry, we don't have any drones for you to check out. But The cars are moving. Technically, there are people in the cars, but I would still count this. So level. So level. You could do something like this in the parking garage, just here. You're going to have to wait until there's no one else around. But yes, you could absolutely achieve something like this on your own, on campus. These light streaks, remember that's a slow exposure. It's going to take a little bit more time, maybe like 30 seconds, to take a photograph like this. Because all these images, or all these houses look similar, we can start to tell the differences between them more easily. This is a piece by Carl Corey. He has a series called Americaville. This print is in an edition of 20. It's for sale at a Santa Barbara gallery for about $3,300. Again, it's part of a larger series. If you drive up to somewhere like Bainbridge, you can see images like this everywhere. You can see things like this even in the downtown Tallahassee area as well. Evidence of people having been there, but there's no one in the photograph. This is an artist named David Leventi. David Leventi. These are Fuji-Color Crystal Archive prints. And so these are not made on a printer. These are actually chemical prints. And it's mounted on an archival substrate. It's framed in white with plexiglass. If you want it in 40 by 50 inches, by the way, this is the Metropolitan Opera House in New York City. It's gorgeous. If you ever get a chance to go, you absolutely should. 40 by 50 inches will cost you a cool $10K, but if you want it to be 72 by 90 inches, it's going to be $30,000. It takes a lot to create these images. This isn't someone taking a quick photograph. This is something that he had to get permission and probably pay to be able to take this photograph. It's also a large format photo. Just making the print may cost hundreds or thousands of dollars. So there's a lot that goes into this. And again, he's represented by a gallery, so he may be seeing half of that. So Larson Schindelman, you may have heard of them. It's actually a duo. They met, I think, in grad school, and they do what's called a geolocation project. And so they live in different areas, and they work in different places, and they've traveled to like Atlanta and upstate New York and Russia. And what they do is they go to Twitter and they look for interesting tweets with the geolocation turned on. And so they'll drive to the area and photograph what they see. So tell me I'm not making a mistake. Tell me you're worth the wait. Evidence of people there, no one is actually in the photograph. These tweets have my location. They're great landscapes. The geolocation helps give them a little bit of context. Mark 3, 1 through 6, what's Jesus want to whisper in your ear tonight? Amy is dying at Highland Hospital. Great use of the sky in this photograph. You can see a lot of color field in here. There's mostly green in the bottom except for the house. And then in the top, it's mostly blue. So we start to look at this as fields of color in a way. No, it's okay. I know you were scared. See you at 6:30. And what I think was especially interesting about this photograph, and a student pointed it out this week, is that there's one light with one window, or one window with one light on. And that's it. You can see some of their lights here and there, but none of them were in windows. Don't lose somebody you love for somebody you like. Sage advice. This is in Atlanta. This is outside Six Flags. I'm doing really good. I have not chickened out on no ride. I know somebody who would be so proud of me. Women lie, men lie. Women lie, men lie. Abraham Lincoln doesn't lie. Hashtag historic remix. If you don't think that you can find things in this area to photograph, you need to open your eyes and look around. There's a lot. This is on the way from Thomasville, Georgia, into Monticello, Florida. Thomasville used to be a dry county, so conveniently, right over the line, there was a liquor store. This is in Bainbridge, Georgia. This, it looks like I was closer to the property than I actually am. I was sitting in a minivan and stopped the car and photographed from inside the vehicle. I wanted to make sure that I wasn't trespassing on anyone's property when I take photographs like this, because magazines won't publish them, books won't publish them, newspapers can't publish them frequently. It depends on what's going on. There's a lot of laws in effect, so I wanted to make sure that I was one, keeping myself safe by not trespassing, but then also being respectful of anyone who may live there, and cover my bases, so I stay on public property. This, though, was behind a church. I did have permission to be there. This is a couple of blocks away from my house. I wasn't willing to test whether or not there were live rattlesnakes. So for this week, in response to Play's homework, the goal is to photograph the unique, different, and sometimes the downright ugly. So turn your focus away from people and focus on the surrounding place. And this means no babies, no pets either. Go exploring. Be safe. Take a friend. Don't trespass. Please remember you live in Florida. And carry your student ID. Frame your image carefully. And that's really what all of these landscape photographers and landscape painters as well have focused on, is their composition. It's a huge aspect of the style. And you can only include what is absolutely necessary, nothing else. And don't move things. Don't touch things. Move yourself. Move closer, left, right, on the ground, higher, step back. Just don't touch or move anything. Everything's due by 11:59 p.m. on the next class day. You need 5 edited images. They're in color, 1800 pixels on the long side, or 8 inches at 300 resolution, JPEG. 3:2 ratio, that means that they're all shot and edited in landscape format. Wide photos only, landscape format. You can use white balance to control the color bias in your images. Try shooting in RAW or DNG in the Lightroom app if you're using a cell phone, and adjust the white balance there. All images, again, must be in landscape format. You can focus on natural landscape or city urban, and consider doing a series. So try a neighborhood, campus, farms, campus, farms, rooms, cultural sites, Railroad Square. Gain Street is huge and has changed tremendously over the last 5 years. Murals and art with contextual information, but no people. Stadium when it's empty is really creepy. Library, Capitol, 22nd floor gallery. This is about getting an overall feeling about a space, about a place. It's not necessarily about getting super close to things. So consider where you're photographing and what you're photographing. You'll need a contact sheet with 50 different images, by the way, in JPEG. Do not take 10 exact photos of the same thing. Change things up. Self-reflection needs to be 150 words and a PDF, and make sure that you have followed all the directions. I can't wait to see what you do this week. I'm so excited. Go forth. Do wonderful things.